Hi, my name is Ravi. Today I'm working on Toyota Belta 1 liter 3-cylinder car. Customer complaint is this car has a very bad idle, that means a rough idle, and stall the car intermittently. I have already diagnosed the issue, so I'm going to demonstrate it for you. So already I have hooked up the scan tool and got the health report. I will show you and what is going on this car with the rough idling and stalling. Okay, I just got the backward and I will show you the health report which I got already. Um, Here I go to the backward and yeah, here you can see that the network topology mode, and you can see that ECM has two fault codes. Here you can see that engine stall history and rough idling. P1603 and P1605. So these are the two fault codes. That means already ECM has recognized that this car has a rough idle and engine has been stalled. As the next step, I would like to see the live data stream and observe the data stream, because during my diagnosis process, I felt and I experienced the rough idling situation. So here you can see the live data stream. So I go downward and see several data and observe several data bits here. As soon as start the car, I can feel that rough idling condition. That means car is shaking and vibrating a little bit abnormally. So this is not normal on this car, but this is a 3-cylinder car. However, this kind of cars has some little vibration than the other cars, but this car has a bit abnormal vibration when we take into consideration those other 3-cylinder cars. So I would like to observe the data more carefully and closely. So let's see what is going on here. First of all, I would like to see the battery charging data, that means the data of the charging system. Here you can see that alternate output duty is fluctuating around 50 to 20%, and battery current is doing well, and battery voltage is in a normal condition. That means it has a charging voltage. So if we go furthermore, this is at the idle. So here you can see that the engine RPM is around 800, which is pretty normal on this car. And let's go furthermore downward. Here you can see that the long-term fault trim is around 3%, which is pretty normal here, and the map sensor around 34-35 kilopascal, quite okay. And here the oxygen sensor data, it's look good, and I can't see anything wrong here. It's fluctuating between the rich and lean, and I would like to see the short-term fuel trims also here, because then I can understand there's something going on in the combustion system, but it was 0. So I can't call on these data for anything. Seems everything pretty normal with the data analysis. So next I try to put some electrical load on the engine, like AC turn on and headlight turn on, and put the gear into the D position, and let's see what will happen. While put some electrical load on the engine, I would like to observe the charging system data, because alternator could bring this kind of bad idle and stall condition when it get higher electrical load if alternator is bad. So here do you see that the charging current, that means battery current goes to the minus side more than the positive side. So I turn on the headlight here also, and what I can observe here, look at that, it goes to the negative side, so that is impossible. So I put the gear into the D position. Yeah, it goes down and now stall the car. So when I put a more electrical load and the gear load onto the engine, car was stalled. But we can't say anything wrong with the charging system by looking at this data, because if the engine get low RPM with another condition caused by another condition, like bad combustion or bad spark plug, or maybe wrong sensor data like airflow sensor or map sensor. So it could cause to the low RPM, and then low RPM could cause to the charging system that reduce the charging. So then alternator try to get more power and try to supply the demand. Then it could happen like that way. So we can't say anything else about the charging system looking at this data. But again, I try to simulate same condition, that means putting air condition on and headlight on, and I put the gear into the D position right now. Yeah, you saw that it was stalled. So customer complaint is confirmed. This car has a rough idle and engine stall situation, when especially when at the idle and under the electrical load and under the gear load. So let me take you to another test in order to reveal what is the cause for this rough idling condition and the engine stall situation. So I have hooked up my scope already, and I have hooked up the second ignition probe in order to see the second ignition waveform, because I need to make sure that anything wrong going with the combustion system, I could analyze it with the second ignition waveform. But look at this. Do you see that huge noise on that waveform? So that is not normal. Even I take my probe closer to the ignition coil, not on the ignition coil, just close to the ignition coil. Do you see that huge noise condition on the waveform? So I will enlarge the screen. Do you see that huge noise? Simultaneously, you can see that rough idling condition on the engine. It is shaking badly. Anyway, people who are familiar with this waveform analysis know which kind of noise it is. So I'm pretty sure it is come from the alternator. I have put a second channel here, and I'm going to see the AC ripples on the alternator. I believe that alternator is producing and emitting AC ripples out of the alternator. So it hit to my second ignition probe. So here you can see I have put a second channel, that green trace is alternator ripples. So already you can see it is emitting 1.7 volt AC ripples. So that is impossible. We are expecting around 500 millivolt as maximum AC ripples that could emit out from the alternator. So this is way high. So I'm recording here the both waveform, second ignition waveform and the alternator AC ripples. So then we can later analyze are they same noises on both channels, both traces. Okay, I stop the record, and let's take a closer look by zoom it in. And here green trace is AC ripples from the alternator, yellow trace is second ignition waveform. So do you see that those noises on the yellow trace is how identical to the green trace AC ripples? So I'm pretty sure those noises on the yellow trace are AC ripples that emit out from the alternator. You can see this high amplitude noise on the AC ripples coincide on the noise of the yellow trace. So I'm pretty sure this is bad alternator. It emit AC ripples out of the alternator than as it's supposed to be. The cause is bad diode plate in the alternator. If any single diode leaky or blown, so it could emit AC voltage into the DC voltage. So that is not a normal condition. So we have to repair or reman the alternator with a new diode plate or replace the alternator. So again, I will show you the ripples. Here you can see it has a huge noise on both channels, both traces. So I'm pretty confident that this alternator is bad. So let's remove the alternator and check the diode plate and take it out from the alternator. Okay, here again you can see those noises on the both traces, yellow and the green traces. Huge AC ripples come out from the alternator, around 1.7 volt, which is pretty high. So I explained these things to the customer, and customer understood what is going on now. But what he told me after I revealed these things, that once before 1 month, when he drove the car, it was broken down on the road, and when he checked, it wasn't charged the battery. So it was a bad alternator, and somebody has replaced the reman alternator. But what I believe with this data, this alternator also bad. So I have to remove the alternator and check the diode plate separately. Let's do that and confirm the issue. Okay, remember that this kind of bad alternator could lead to the rough idling and engine stall situation, especially at the idle, because at the idle RPM is lower. So if you put electrical load and put the gear into the D position, turn on the headlight and things, it will have higher electrical demand. But this kind of bad alternator can't supply the demand, and then he try to produce the more load according to the demand, and then engine RPM getting lower and lower, and you will feel that rough idle and sometimes engine could stall too. But you might feel quite okay when you are accelerating the car. So anyway, I removed the alternator here, and I'm going to disassemble it and take the diode plate out of it and check it individually. This is a computer controlled alternator, pretty good and manageable, but if it go wild, and then it will bring the rough idle. Okay, here is the diode plate. Let's check the diode plate using multimeter. So I put the multimeter into the diode mode and let's start. Okay, hope you heard the beep. So I put my negative lead on the positive side of the diode plate, and then I put my positive lead on the first diode set. Here you can see the value, and here is the second diode. It has around 570. First one is 520. Second one is 517, and here's the third one in this corner. It has around 450. Yeah, 450. So this is quite normal value. So I changed the probes and I put my positive lead on the positive side and negative lead on the diode side. So this first diode has a oil value. So second one also showing a oil. Look at that. But third one has a we got a value, so it is a leaky diode. So this is the cause that we got that AC ripples on our test. So definitely this is a leaky diode. So I put my positive lead on the negative side now and check diode one by one. You can see all three diodes shows values around 500. Now I change my probe and I put my positive lead on the diode and negative side is here. Yeah, you saw that all the three diodes shows OL value. So there are three diode sets, that means 6 diode, but one diode is leaky. So definitely this diode plate is bad, and we need to replace this diode plate, or we need to replace the alternator. You can see here that is the leaky diode. So our diagnosis part is done. This car need an alternator, but I don't recommend to reman this alternator using a new diode plate because we can't find OE parts here in locally. So better we replace a Japanese junkyard alternator on behalf of reman this alternator. Thank you for watching.